There we are. We are back with another Monster Mash. I am your host, your good buddy Jake. And I'm joined by my friends. Friends, companions, cohorts, to test out a new monster for you all. This week I am joined by Decaf, Shy, Dinnerman, and Robin. So, I'm just going to go ahead and let them introduce their characters to you guys. Starting with, we'll just go in alphabetical order here, Decaf.
Hello, I am back again. This time I bring to you another thaumaturge. However, Victoria here is a little bit of me just playing with mechanics more than anything. She is, on paper, a changeling human that went from thaumaturge into a sorcerer dedication and a vengeful dragon disciple. Her main implements are going to be weapon and mirror today.
Very cool. All right, excellent. Well, the next up is going to be Dinnerman.
Oh, God. What's going on? I'm playing Catastrophe June. She's the fastest gun this side of the inner sea. You ain't never seen a gunslinger quite like this. I didn't bring the hyenas today, but that's it. We're going to shoot some shots. I've been waiting to play this class since I learned about Pathfinder. So,
Oh yeah.
let's get this road on the show.
Yep.
Woo!
Next up is going to be Robin.
Hello, I am playing as classic of a fighter as you can make. His name is Galadorn. He's based off of my old World of Warcraft character who was a warrior, and my first ever role-playing character that I commissioned artwork for like over 15 years ago now.
Very cool. And then bringing up the rear is good old Shy. Shy, what you got for us this time?
Well, wow, I blinked for about half a second there, my bad. This is actually a character I've somewhat built before. This is not based on the first time I built them, but this is going to return, as I've called them in the moment. A Maestro Bard, there we go, that's the word. And playing into the themes of shadow here.
Yep. Getting a little soft there.
I mean, yeah, shadows and fear.
Very cool. Well, I am not a huge fan of a bard in a party with a fighter and a gunslinger. I feel like this is going to hurt my monster very much. But we're gonna roll with it, and we're gonna see how this ends up working out for me. Now, the four of you have been commissioned to hunt down a creature that has taken up residence in the nearby forest. It's thrown the local ecosystem a little bit out of whack. None of it's taken over as the apex predator, and nothing really seems to be able to unseat it from its position. So the four of you have you've actually been asked by druids to handle this monster. And so gathering together, you have headed out into once vibrant woods that you find now toppled and charred, and amongst it all, next to between some toppled trees, a great nest has been arranged. As I mentioned, you guys did approach this aware that you were hunting a creature, so you are likely armed with whatever sort of weapons you would typically be armed with. But the creature before you is a vast reptilian beast with verdant green scales that are periodically interrupted by these reddish purple thorns. It has the body shape of a wyvern, with two powerful wings presently folded at its side, and two tree trunk thick legs. It is also equipped with a long spiny tail, and has a rather gruesome looking horn at the tip of its snout. Now this creature was slumbering as you approached, but as you drew near, maybe sensing the threat that you presented to it, it began to stir, and has now risen onto its feet and is fixing you with an evil-eyed glare. The creature in question looks a little like this. So
I see.
it rises out of its nest. And as it does, I will reveal it. And we're going to go ahead and enter combat state. Alright, buddy. I gave you a terrible perception, but please roll high for me. I'll take it.
Ah, they're both the same. I shouldn't have taken that feat. Oh well.
Or were you
So
referring to
let's-
incredible initiative?
Yeah.
Or are you the fighter?
No, I'm the gunslinger.
No, I'm the
but yeah,
fighter.
10 paces, I guess, at this
Yeah.
level gives me a +2 to my.
Since we
Oh,
are
that's
rolling
right.
initiative,
Whoosh. Oh, right. I need to change from.
Alright, the Galador wants to give off a battle cry.
Not
a
sling
big ol'
blades.
roar to start this off.
Yes.
Ooh. Natural 20. Alright, right off the bat, this spine-covered creature sort of like raises at you, only to have a Galador roar back at him. And do you have intimidating glare?
I do.
Okay. Okay, yep, you managed to give him a glance, give him a look that leaves him frightened too.
Oh, he's first. Dang it. All right, well, we're still going to crit him, but just not as easy.
Yep. Yep. Let's see, with that being the case, I think what he is going to start off with doing, you know what, I should change that one ability, well, I'll do that in game, is he's actually going to rise into the air a bit. You see powerful wings just as he lifts into the air, ascending 25 feet upwards. Let's see, I'm not sure that worked. There we go. Perfect. Once in place, you see a sort of a ruddy orange glow in his throat. You see it through the green, and it seems to travel up it before he spews out a fireball and fires a blossoming blaze. So this hits a 15-foot burst. So I'm just gonna go right there. And I need everybody in there to go ahead and give me a reflex save. Critical success from Catastrophe June. Because of the frighten on Catastrophe June's part, it looks like.
Well, I would really like not to go down immediately, so we're just gonna immediately re-roll that nat 1.
Gonna spend your hero point?
Not gonna be able to. Yeah. I know I say I spend these like candy, but like
Okay.
trying to not go down immediately is kind of the main goal.
So June takes no damage as she sort of throws herself out of the way. But the rest of you are not as quick. And so as this blast detonates, you each take 37 points of fire damage. And I cannot do that again for 3 rounds. So round 4 is what I'm looking for. That does use up all 3 of my actions, which means it is a Galadorn's turn. Now I'm only fighting 1.
A Galadorn forgot to buy a ranged weapon,
Oh, nope.
so I'm gonna delay.
Okay. That brings us to Nocturne. Nocturne, this creature is taken into the air. It does seem like you don't know, maybe it throws its spines or something, but if the fire breath is the only thing it has, it does seem to have exhausted that. So, it may yet descend upon you. But, until it does, what are you thinking, Shy? Oh, hello?
It's
Shy?
his turn.
Sing this stupid thing.
Oh,
If you can hear him through my microphone.
I
Yeah,
cannot.
his oh, okay. Yeah, it's his turn now. He gets to have the mic issues.
oh no. All right. Well, so then, hello?
Oh?
Mhm.
Sounds like you're coming through. Yes. There
Okay,
he
yeah,
is.
confirmed. That's what I needed. Sorry. Okay. Hello. I have returned.
Welcome back.
And... All right. Figures that he's doing the flying thing. I was banking on a monster not doing that, but oh well. All right. Well, since we have our weapons,
Yeah.
Nocturne doesn't have a weapon. He has a maestro's instrument. He's
That
got a
makes sense.
violin out. And I think what we're gonna stick with. Got demoralized. What about? There it is.
Oh.
Is this the one I think it is? It is. I would like to use synesthesia.
Oh boy. Okay.
Is within 30, yeah.
He's 25 feet up.
Oh, so I would need to get closer anyways. How far in would I need to get for that? Think here would be fair?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll do that. And I will do synesthesia from here.
Okay. Concentrate, manipulate, mental occult. Alright. Here we go. I'm gonna spend my villain point. What do you know? I have another villain point. I'm not taking a critical failure here. I'm sorry. It gets a regular
That's-
failure.
It's fine. I was just like, okay, interesting. Is it really? Does this thing really have that low of a save?
It's a -8 right now. Because why is it a -8? Actually, let me double check that.
I was gonna say, like, something's off
Oh,
here.
yeah,
Hold
you're
on.
right. It should. I typed it in wrong. There we go. All right, let me try it now with a proper save. Okay, success.
Here we go. I was gonna say a 14 is really, really low for
Which means it is still clumsy 3 for a
level
round,
12.
and has a -10-foot status penalty to its speeds.
It has 3 effects.
Yep,
Oh,
but the other ones don't really matter until it's its turn.
yeah. So there are those.
Okay,
All right, cool.
excellent.
That
Very
was
strong
movement and
debuff
intellect.
going out there. Let's see. Clumsy is a status penalty, as is Frighten, so those won't be stacking. But my AC is still taking a beating. Alright. June, it is your turn.
If this works out, it's only going to get worse. June, already having pulled her gun, is going to stare at the monster and walk 10 feet as part of her 10 paces.
Okay.
Also to get away from everyone else. Then I will feint as a part of pistol twirl.
Okay.
Let me just click on that.
And off guard is not a status penalty, that is a circumstance penalty. So if you can
I do
get
it.
this to
Super
succeed-
crazy, sick twirl of my gun, and whoosh. I clicked it already, but my computer's still being a little silly.
There you go, natural 20. Alright, so it is off guard. That's a -5 to AC right now.
And then I'm gonna fire copper wasp, ba bang! Just a regular hit.
Regular hit. Yep.
All right, well that's fine, I guess. All right, it's gonna do. I'm just gonna, yeah, everything's regular. Bang, 14 damage.
14 damage. What is the persistent fire? Interesting. Okay.
Oh yeah, and then it needs to make a will save. This happening every single time I hit seems crazy. So if you wanted to make Ashen like once per minute, then I think that would make sense.
Well, I mean, making you confused won't do too much. We'll see what happens. But let me.
I guess
All
that's
right.
fair.
So, you fire your gun into the air, and you see like the bullet hit the thing, and like it opens like a crack in its skin, and you can see a little bit of bleed trickling out. But then like the round just like drops back to earth. So that is my way of describing. This thing has some manner of resistance.
Like this thing isn't modular, isn't it?
Critical success on the
Alright,
Ashen.
cool. That's fine. Concussive.
Alright. So Stride, which you got as part of a free action.
Yeah, I have one more. I just want to read concussive really quick. When determining the creature's resistance to immunity
The
from the
bludgeoning
weapon.
or piercing. Yep.
Yeah, okay, alright. Then last action, I'm going to... Which one is it? Racketeur's Reload. I'm going to create a diversion to reload.
Okay.
Do any of these matter? They all have different things.
Let me double check.
I'm gonna use...
Now, if you critically succeed on a feint, it's just off guard to you still, right? Not to others?
Let's see. It has the target's off guard
If
against
you
melee
attempt.
attacks. But for this one, it's range specifically
yes.
until the end of my next turn. It says
Okay.
for
So
critical.
remind
So
me that
that's
I will
big.
probably take off guard once your turn ends, so that way other people
Yeah,
aren't
that's
rolling
fine.
against it.
So I'm gonna click this for the sake of my diversion creating.
All right, that's a success because of the frightened.
I love that for me. All right, I'm reloaded and I am hidden.
Yeah, you
Where's
are. You're hiding like, but you duck behind this log or something.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, Victoria.
Okay, I am actually going to start my round with a exploit vulnerability.
Excellent. All right, go ahead and give me that esoteric lore check.
Yes. Skills. Proficiencies.
You eye up
Yeah.
this creature soaring above you. As it shakes its head, natural 20. I don't like how many natural 20s you guys are rolling. All right. Well, first off, I'll tell you that this is an Espinas. It is a huge dragon that is known to draw upon elements of both poison and fire. You learn all of the creature's resistances, weaknesses, and immunities. All right.
Mhm.
It is immune to fire and poison.
Okay.
It is weak to cold with a value of 12. And it has resistances to all physical damage except adamantine with a value of 12 as well.
Okay.
There are no particularly unusual weaknesses or vulnerabilities.
Gotcha.
Is there anything else you'd like to know about it? You get 2 pieces of information with that critical success.
Special abilities that it could wield
let's see.
against us.
That it could wield against you. I'll give you a defensive one and an active one.
Okay.
So firstly, it has thorns. It's got all those spikes covering its hide. So melee strikes against it run a chance of pricking yourselves on those thorns. And if you critically fail your save against them, well, you get exposed to a little bit of venom.
Okay.
Alternatively, the Espinas likes charging its foes, likes just running them down, using that horn on its snout to gore them, and as such has a wild charge. The Espinas flies or strides twice and then makes a horn strike at the end of its movement. As long as it moved at least 20 feet from its starting point, it gains a +2 circumstance bonus to its attack roll.
Okay.
Since you guys already saw the blossoming blaze.
Sounds good. Okay. I am going to use the knowledge for that to enact mortal weakness,
Yep.
so that I can get the cold damage off.
Yeah. And if any
From
other
my
Espinasses come flying into this
abilities.
combat, it'll apply to them
Oh,
as
God. I would hope so. Let's see here. And then I
well.
guess
Espinastes, as I like to call them.
terrible. All right, and then I guess I'm going to go ahead and let's take a pot shot with
Okay.
my trigger brand.
Ooh. Okay.
Actually, hold on. I have to figure out the range.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what was the range on that?
Let's take a look here. Trigger brand.
30 feet
I have
is what
30
it says
feet.
for
Okay,
me.
I'll have to move in.
Alright, but yeah, it was a single action for you to do this exploit
Yeah,
vulnerability.
the exploit.
One action.
yeah, I'll move in.
in.
And then I'll take a shot.
Okay.
I think this is. If it has the sword icon, that would be melee usage?
I would assume as much.
Yeah, I think the
Okay,
ring
yeah.
has like a weird little U-turn symbol.
Yeah. Alright, I've got it set for that. I have rounds in, so I think I just can hit this for the strike.
That is a hit. That is a solid hit.
Beautiful.
Palpable hit, some might say.
There we go.
Alright, now unfortunately, you also have Ashen, huh?
I do, yeah.
That's funny with both Joe's useless things. I thought it was so cool.
I
Alright.
thought so too. I was like, ooh, an esoterica that's just constantly covered in ash?
The Ashen rune is super cool. But none of you asked me what damage types to avoid, and I forgot to tell you. So
No.
here we go. Now it would take no damage normally, but you should still deal the cold damage, right?
Yeah, so with mortal weakness, my attacks specifically activate the highest weakness discovered, aka the cold.
Yep.
So damage affects target of your exploit vulnerability, so it should only do that.
So
Should
it'll
only
be-
do the weakness.
Okay, so yeah,
Takes
your
Yeah.
physical damage isn't enough to get through this creature's thick, scaly hide, but the cold, like you see, like your round impact it, and you see like frost like spread across its like side or something briefly. It flinches at it.
Nice.
Okay. Did that go through? Okay, perfect. A Galadorn.
Yes.
This new round 2's about to start.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take my turn before you go
Okay.
through.
Yep. So I'm just gonna move you
It's-
down here.
Pretty simple. Gonna change grip on my sword to 1. Use 2 actions to pull out a moderate healing potion, and a third to use it.
Okay, perfect. There you go.
That's
All
the
right.
thing.
Excellent. Well, that brings us to round 2, and back to the Espinas. So, I think I have to go after the person who just shot cold at it. So, the Espinas is indeed going to show off the ability it just boasted about, and is going to do a wild charge against Victoria. Now it has a fly speed of 40 feet right now because of synesthesia, which is still enough for it to soar down. It comes crashing down, sort of like leading with its horn. It kind of dive bombs you.
to make a flat check.
Yep, it's going to make a flat check because Victoria is concealed to it. That's coming through. And I'm gonna roll the attack roll here, and we're gonna add 2 because I moved 20 feet from my starting position. But a 28 is still a miss, so it lands heavily upon the ground,
So worried.
missing you with its horn. It's then gonna go ahead and I think it's gonna make a Jaws strike against you. So to make another flat check. Cool. I'm glad that's where my natural 20 went. And here we go. Alright, I'll take it. So that is going to be these. It misses you with a horn. You manage to step aside, but as you do so, its neck swiftly twists as it lunges out against you with a bite, jaws clamping down on you to deal 31 points of piercing damage.
Oof, okay. Ta-da.
Juicy damage. That is all 3 of its actions, though. It is no longer frightened,
For now.
but... Oh wait, I guess as Nocturne's turn begins, it drops a synesthesia as well. It is still bleeding, though. So it'll take that.
It does. It succeeded, right?
Yes. When I use
Okay,
this
then
actual
yeah.
bonus,
Yeah.
for some reason it takes no bleed damage when I try to take it. Does physical resistance negate bleed?
I don't imagine. I don't think there's adamantine.
Yeah.
But maybe since the damage wasn't dealt by an adamantine weapon, but it
I
did
would
still
assume-
take it.
I would assume it would take the bleed. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna subtract that.
I would say, like, if it fully resisted the damage, then obviously it makes sense there was no bleed. But I think 2 overlapped, and it did take 2 damage.
Okay, it shakes its head, now free of the synesthesia that it was afflicted with. And the only thing still affecting it is the bleed that Catastrophe
Oh, fret
June
not.
inflicted upon it. Alright,
Fret not, the frightened shall come back.
alright, Chai, give it to me.
Well,
Orthus is saying that bleed is considered a special type of physical damage.
Yeah, I was just looking it up. That it seems like it is resisted.
Well, alright, if that is the case, I guess I'm giving it back those 4 hit points.
No, both of my runes are useless.
That's okay. My rune's also
Damn.
That is heartbreaking, but that's how it goes.
life.
That's
All right.
fine.
Well,
Alright.
he's gonna bring. He's gonna take this violin that he's already probably been playing to use the hell out of this thing, making it see colors as he plays it. He's gonna just, strings at once. Do.
Alright. The Dirge of Doom hums through the air, striking into the heart of this monster and filling it with dread.
And then follow that up as he particularly makes it slightly louder. Casts Space Bolt at it.
Okay. So another strum of the violin or another keening swipe across the violin. You fire this bolt of magic at it. Have you guys ever watched Kung Fu Hustle?
That's the Axe Gang one, right?
Yep.
Yes.
I always think of they got the musical assassins that play like
Mhm.
the big musical instrument and launch like invisible blades and stuff from it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this invisible blade does not find its mark, going a little wide and killing a sapling in the background.
Oh, the druids aren't going to be happy about that.
Nope. That's 5
I
shillings
really
off your
don't
pay.
think Nocturne's gonna care. I hate to say.
In my game, I have a bard who uses slash and gust, and I flavored it exactly like that, and that's exactly what he was thinking of when he did it too.
Yeah. Alright. Catastrophe June, we're back to you and your useless
All
runes.
right. My useless character. Oh, the one
It
time
is-
I get to play the class I want, and nothing is going to work.
It is off guard to you still, both because
Yes,
you are
it
hidden
is.
and because of your critical success on the
I think more likely than not, I'm about to not be hidden because I'm about to do something crazy. Let me read this really quickly. Double check my proficiencies. They're the same. All right. I am, just for the sake of nothing else going to be working, I'm going to use my Pistolero's challenge. I'm going to point at this monster and I'm going to say cheap viewers, and then I'm going to intimidate it.
another critical
Let's-
success.
Oh, well, there's no crit. But that's still fine. We both get... I'm actually... Let me read this. It said if I'm a master, which I am, we both get a +3. So that's cool. So I'm going to now... Let me read it. It's circumstance, right? Status. Ooh, even better. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to remove hidden because I needed to jump out from this log and point at it. And then I'm going to add 3.
Okay.
Spell challenge wrong, and oh, this is status, but it doesn't matter. Bang! It's still not a crit. Oh, come
Another
on!
hit. Yep, rolling middling.
It is nothing.
All right, so that'd be 11. But yeah, that unfortunately, none of that
Wait.
will get through.
Did I read it wrong? Oh, to damage. Hold on. Would a 33 still have hit?
Yes.
Okay, I added the 3 to the hit. I misread this. The
Pistolero's challenge. Ooh, this has a linguistic trait.
Oh.
Vorthus just pointed that out to me.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. I should have read that. But 11 still would have done no damage to it anyway. So
unfortunately, no.
Then I will use a free action to shed a single tear, and finally do the same thing of trying to. I need to move. I didn't take that thing that lets me move and reload, but this is a dumb monster, so I'm going to do the same thing. Racketeur's created version and reload. And I also have Confabulator, so I'm a master. So I think the plus it gets to its perception DC is only here. It is. Plus
1.
1. Yes.
Okay.
So let us roll one of those.
Good call on Vorthus. Thanks for keeping us honest about that. Baron Spigolone, forgive me if I butchered that, did suggest maybe to prevent this interaction, have the Espinas become resistant to only piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing instead of to all physical damage. We're gonna look into that a little bit. We'll see how that turns out. We got something coming up for it. Another critical success on this, even with the +1.
Even with the +1? Alright, cool. Then I am once again hidden, and I'm just using my giant hat to wipe away the tears of not being able to do anything.
Okay. Well, that brings us back to Victoria, who seems to have the best chance to hurt this thing so far.
Yep.
But we've yet to see a Galadorn axe, so maybe.
This is the unfortunate thing with action economy that I'm already noticing with what mechanics I've chosen today. So I'm going to use my first action to interact with my weapon to change it into its melee form.
Okay.
Okay. And then I am going to move for my second action.
Oh, interesting.
To come around to get over here.
Preparing for a flank. I see what you're doing.
And then it's mostly just to help a Galadorn there, but just in case, to let him choose more specifically where he might want to position himself. My other hand has been holding a very long rectangular piece that seems a little reflective, as my weapon implement has been in one hand and my mirror has been in the other, and I use my mirror to, what is it called? Create mirror's reflection within 15 feet. And I'm going to place that 5, 10, 15 up hither on the north side.
Very cool. All right, so I guess what I'll do is I'll probably just drag another token of your character out onto the field.
That
because you can choose whichever one
is technically me.
Yep.
Yep.
Super cool class, or super cool subclass. I gotta make use of it at some point for a build.
Yeah, that's fair. I haven't touched it before. I know we've talked about it, and now's the day, apparently.
Yep. But that
will
is
be all three of my
actions, which brings us to a Galadorn.
Okay. It is currently frightened 1 because of the Dirge of Doom, correct?
Correct.
So we are going to use 1 action to change my grip, 1 action to stride the 20 feet,
Do a
hit
flank.
that flank,
Yep.
and 1 final action to shatter defense, make a melee strike.
I don't mean to bring you down,
Oh, no.
but unfortunately, Shatter Defense has the press trait.
Oh, that's right. Then just a strike. Just
Okay.
a strike.
All right.
With my useless rune.
Ooh, solid hit. Good hit against this thing. So go ahead and roll damage for me. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, well, you are carving into its flesh. You definitely see, like, as your blade cuts into it, you've cut the deepest of any of your allies. But that has earned you the ire of the Espinas. So let me check its health. Alright, still good there. But we're gonna do... Oh, actually, sorry, before I forget. You struck at it in melee. I need you to make a reflex save. Okay. So you're gonna take 16 piercing damage, but you aren't exposed to any venom. But what I am going to do is the Espinas suddenly turns, swinging its tail in a broad arc. And so for 3 actions, it is going to strike Galadorn, Nocturne, and then Victoria. Now this isn't any sort of special ability. This is it just using 3 actions to attack with, to strike with. So,
I got you.
Strike number 1 is going against a Galadorn. Gotcha for 32 points of damage. That's a good roll. That's a fantastic roll. Second strike is going to go against Nocturne. I do have the sweep trait on my tail here, so it'll be a slight buff. 32 is good. 26 damage against Nocturne, and then the it keeps turning, it keeps spinning around, swings at Victoria with its final map, and that's a miss, even with sweep.
Phew.
Good turn for it, though. End of its turn. It's going to try to recover from the bleed. No more bleed. Alright, Nocturne, we're back to you. Alright, did we lose Shy on the mic again?
I'm guessing so, because I can hear things going on behind me.
Oh no. Why is it always when it's his turn?
Okay, back though.
So,
How about now?
there we go, he's back.
Literally, I'm not even exaggerating. The literal second my turn began.
Yep.
Pain, anyways. But, you know, I just had to do the same thing as last time. Anyways. Alright, well, ow. Hurt. We're gonna go ahead. Cast a good old soothe.
Okay.
Myself. I think that's my main thing.
That
How's everyone
is-
else looking percentage-ish?
100.
Like half. A little above.
75.
Yeah, I will definitely be the one to gladly take it for myself.
So, you're gonna restore yourself a little bit.
Poorly on my spell slots. It makes my sad. It's fine. Yep. And
Ooh,
Good lord.
there you go.
believe me, I needed it.
Yep. Did that get you back
I'm
to
still
full?
not even fully healed.
Yeah,
after
okay, I
that.
didn't think
Not
so.
Quite. I was in pain. I'm not exactly one who has a lot of health to begin with.
Yeah. All right, what do you want to do for your third action?
Check the wording on. I want to check the wording on something. One second.
Okay. So yeah, so if the duration is 1 round.
So he would lose frightened.
Well, he still can't reduce
No.
frighten until the end of his turn.
Okay, so he stays frightened then?
He's still frightened until the end of his next turn unless you maintain Dirge of Doom.
Well, in that case, I will instead follow it up. That's not the right button. Hang on. There we go. Courageous Anthem.
Courageous Anthem, very nice.
He, instead of two chords that seem to not go well together, decides to actually play something that sounds pleasant to the ear for his ally.
Very cool. All right. So you bolster your
That's nice.
allies. And that is going to make a 2-point difference in attacks. Let's see if that is enough to give Catastrophe June her crit.
I kind of wanted to do something else this turn, but
Uh-oh.
you know
Okay.
what? Now that I'm invigorated by this Courageous Anthem,
Mm-hmm.
screw it. We're going for it. What was
Yeah.
that thing I do? Pistol Twirl. I'm going to start twirling it again,
Okay.
give it another shot.
You've crit every single
Would
deception
have
check you've
if
made
they-
against this thing.
Yeah, if I can just regular succeed. Don't forget what?
Apply the effect on yourself.
Oh yeah, I gave it to
Yeah,
myself, but
Jude's
everyone
got
else.
it.
No.
Does it at the start of turn?
Let's go.
Once again, a critical success.
All right. Now let me just do a regular hit and do no damage. You want to make him off guard for me real quick?
Yep. Where is it? There it is.
Okay, he's frightened. I got the thing.
And it's a miss. Oh no.
I'm gonna take a walk. Same thing. Instead, he's already frightened, so I don't want to use the demoralize for it. So I'm going to same deal. Racketeurs.
Make yourself hidden just so that it's harder for him to hit you.
Again, it's a dumb monster. I love the idea that I haven't moved, but he keeps losing track of me.
That is a
another
success
6.
because of the frightened.
This lasts until the end of your turn, or until you do anything other than blah blah blah. Whichever comes first. I don't know. I guess that's up to you. I'm reloaded, and that's everything. And next turn for sure. Since I just can't hit, I'm gonna do something
Okay.
that'll help everyone.
Okay. A Galadorn. Or sorry, no, I skipped past Victoria too quick. I must have hit the button without thinking about it.
It's all
Victoria,
good.
it is your turn.
All right. My mirror refraction will disappear momentarily before I immediately reactivate it with
Okay.
my mirror's ability. And then I was debating this before my turn came up. It's not worth it to use my intensify because I plan to attack, and I know that means that I'm also going to get stabbed back by some thorns. So
Real quick,
therein lies the joy.
remember to remove off guard.
Yes. Yep. For against Victoria, that is a good. Well, it should be factoring in off guard automatically because it did for
Yeah.
Galadorn.
Also, a Galadorn and Nocturne. You guys got to give yourselves Courageous Anthem.
Yeah, the fact that it doesn't just do it is.
Valid.
Yeah, especially when you drag the thing. But I'm sorry. Please continue, Victoria.
So yeah, that'll be my first action. I didn't do this before we jumped into the melee portion, so I'm actually going to use my second action to reload,
Okay.
so that I can put another bullet in. And thankfully, I have ammunition thaumaturgy, so with implements in hand, this is not a problem for me to do.
Excellent.
Yep. And then lastly, I'll go ahead and do a strikeout. And between the two of us, I'm going to make it appear. Well, I'm going to say if it hits, it's going to come from the north side.
Okay.
That's the proper verbiage there. So, and attack.
That is a hit because of the off guard. Well, actually, no, you rolled a 38. It's almost a crit because of the off guard.
Beautiful. And then here is the damage roll.
Ooh. All right, so yeah, a little bit of the physical damage got through this time. You managed
I'll
to
take it.
pierce its hide slightly.
Also,
but,
remember the plus 12 for the weakness.
Yep, the 12 cold damage strikes into this creature.
Love it.
Does not like that. It does not appreciate it.
Yeah, that's valid.
And that is all 3 of your actions, which means it is
Mhm.
the Galadorn's turn.
How do I apply Courageous Anthem?
So
Kind
if
of did
I
that.
can do it to you. So when he casts a spell,
I can also-
in the little box, there's a spell effect, Courageous Anthem. and we can just drag and drop that onto your token.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so I am going to use Slam Down with the Crashing Slam feat.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, with Crashing Slam. Hell yeah.
Mm.
So, I wanted to ask other people their opinion on this. Crashing Slam with this like improvement to Slam Down, it says you make only a single strike and then you don't do a trip attempt. So do you guys think that means it doesn't apply the multiple attack penalty?
I think it does. I was looking this up while I was figuring this out, and it says nothing about the map penalty.
Yeah, because you're still
in
using
Crashing
Slam Down. But Slam Down does specify both attacks count towards your multiple attack penalty, but the penalty doesn't increase until after you've made both of them. But
I
Crashing
mean, if
Slam,
you don't want to give
Uh,
me a plus 10 or a minus 10, I'm okay with that.
But so I feel like with the way it words it, instead of rolling a check for the trip attempt, it's just automatically applying the critical success. It does sound like it's the equivalent of still having map.
Okay.
equipment,
Yeah, we can do a minus 10 then.
it's just you don't
But,
have to roll the second time.
But that
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
indeed a hit. So go ahead and roll your damage. 22, alright. Not all of it gets through. And it says you get the critical effects of a trip attempt.
With my damage dice for my weapon.
Nice.
That's actually crazy.
Alright, so prone, and this unfortunately is bludgeoning damage, which is not going to go through.
And even at a minus 10, now I'm going to use Shattered Defenses.
Hell yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Oh my god.
Because of the Courageous Anthem and the Frighten and just like the confluences of bonuses and penalties,
Yes.
that is exactly a hit. Even with the minus 10.
Ooh, that's a good roll too.
That's obnoxious. Alright,
Hi,
well,
BB.
normally it would lower its frightened condition, but now it can't do so until the start of Galadorn's next turn. Very nice. But we're moving closer to one of my plans. Alright, it is the Espinasti's turn. It's a dragon, but it's not a super bright one, so it's just gonna stand up.
No, you fool!
You know what that means.
Yep, bring it. Ooh, that is a miss,
Oh, neat.
unfortunately. Yes, I also know what that means for the weapon thaumaturge.
Hi. Look, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yep.
It's not one I usually have.
Okay, that is a hit thanks to the confluence. Oh, and yep, you know what? Baron caught me. I need 2 reflex saves from a Galadorn there for the thorns.
Mm.
That's right.
Ooh.
That's right.
Okay, so you'll take half damage from the first one. Alright, so yeah. Take half damage from that for a Galadorn. That's just the first one because you got a success. And then that is Victoria's damage. One of that gets through, and then the 12. And then I need a reflex save from Victoria as well. And that is going to be a failure, but not a critical failure.
That's valid.
So 24 points of piercing damage.
Beautiful. And now this is the fun part. So I will take that damage, and my mirror will also shatter and deal back damage that probably won't go through because it is like 2 plus half my level, so 7 points of slashing damage.
Yeah.
Goodbye, my mirror.
Which one are we getting rid of?
We'll stick with the north one to go away.
North one goes away? Okay.
Yep.
Alright, well that was one action to stand up. It did get the chance to do so. I have not poisoned anybody, and you keep hitting me with cold damage. But you knocked me down. Decisions. I'm going after a Galadorn. Like I said,
Bring
it's
it.
not smart enough to realize that the Thaumaturge probably has a lower fortitude save. So here we go. Miss by 2. Well, in that case, I suppose we'll just go for a Shaw Strike. And I think it's going to twist its head around and go for Victoria again. So it stabs out with its horn, misses a Galadorn, swings its head around and snaps at Victoria with another miss, unfortunately for me. Nocturne, it is back to you, buddy. Courageous Anthem comes to an end unless you keep up the song.
Well, if it can't reduce its frightened yet again, I'm just gonna recast it up, to be honest.
Okay. You strike up the tune for another Courageous Anthem.
What?
Everybody can go ahead and apply that to themselves. I'll go ahead and do the same.
Hold on. Plot twist, I have decided my allies are something different now. Anyways.
I don't know what I thought when you said that, but it did not register at all.
Alright, so one action you strum or use. I keep saying strum, but your character's got a violin in this picture.
I keep hearing the violin in the fight music, and I just keep imagining that's the
That's
song
what he's
you're
doing, yeah.
you're just playing, yeah.
He's absolutely helping play this thing's
Theme song. Well, then I think I should get Courageous Anthem. But alright,
I don't know what's forbid.
so that's one action.
And
What else? Oh, go
what
ahead.
more fitting way, even if it's not going to be good, than
Okay, haunting him. And being a 15-foot cone the size of this creature, you are fortunately going to be able to avoid catching your allies in that area. It will make a save and fails. So go ahead and
sonic damage?
give me some damage. This will all go through. Let me see. Okay. Catastrophe June.
All right. This doesn't matter because I'm not going to attack it. But remember, because of a Galadorn's thing, while it's frightened, it is off guard.
Yes. Yep. It's
I'm
also
going
off guard to you because of you critically succeeding on another feint.
Yeah, I'm not attacking it this turn though because I don't want to. I don't want to feel the heartbreak of another nothing. So I'm going to run up here right after it tried to bite at Victoria. Its face is there. As I'm running up, I'm dragging my hand along the dirt to pick up some
Pocket
dirt
fan?
and some bugs. Exactly. Dirty trick.
Okay.
I'm going to just throw it right in its face.
Okay.
All right, none of that applies. Okay, that's fine.
That is
so
a
now it's
success.
And then, oh, my computer's being silly. There we go. And then I'm going to move the entire hell away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
About to give this thing
30.
attack of opportunity.
See ya.
It's so valid though, regardless.
Just run up, throw dirt in its face, and run away. And that's my turn. Let me make sure everyone's still within 60 feet of me. Yep, we're good.
Okay. Victoria.
All right, we're gonna shake up the action economy just a little bit. I'm gonna start with my attack,
Oh, there's an effect I could have given it.
so we will stab out.
All right.
I will miss.
That will be a miss.
I will cry. It's fine. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use.
A lot of good your cold
My-
damage does you now.
So
Sorry.
sad. You're not wrong though. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do my mirror's reflection
Okay.
to put my duplicate back up here again on the north side.
All right.
And then, just in case it does continue to look at me, we're going to use my third action to intensify vulnerability. My mirrors intensify makes me concealed.
Ooh,
Ah.
nice.
Oh yeah. You know what? I thought it was concealed because of the dirty trick, but I guess that's not an actual facet of it. It was just how he described it made me think of it. All right, very
That's
good.
valid.
Let me make sure I
Oh
wrote the
yeah,
wrong-
I guess I described it completely wrong. I pull his pants down below his ankles.
You pull his eyelid down. A Galadorn. It is back
All
to
right.
you.
Flip the eyelid backwards.
Second verse, same as the first.
Okay. I hope you miss. Nothing personal. Thank you.
Aww. Then we're just gonna go ahead and do the shatter defense yet again.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
right at a.
You got
Right at a.
all the same bonuses as last time.
I guess it would only be at a -5 because
Ooh.
I went through the trip this time.
Alas,
I
that's the
I
turn.
guess it doesn't matter.
yeah. All right. It is the Espinas's turn. So if it can end its turn, it gets to get rid of frightened.
Oh, until the start. I got it.
Okay. Oh, this is a little annoying. I wish you guys had just hit it at least once. But I don't think it likes you doing that to it, June. And
I
so
tried.
it's going to
Oh, that's me.
take flight. So its wings pump, and it goes a tiny little bit into the air, but it is doing a wild charge. And it is going to soar over the heads of everybody here, and then come landing back down and try to get you with a horn strike.
Does it flying away trigger a reaction?
It does. Why did I press that twice? Whoops. So,
Guys, please, please.
both of you
Oh wait,
go
no,
ahead.
it doesn't stop it. It doesn't stop the reaction.
If Victoria's is a critical hit,
Come
it
on,
will stop
Victoria.
it. Alright, regular hit from a Galadorn.
Oh,
A
no.
miss from Victoria.
Shame.
And that reflex save.
Okay. Alright.
Was
Alright,
it off
so-
guard
Um,
to Victoria?
oh, you're right.
And-
It would have been from where it was.
Would that affect either of their?
That actually would have been a crit. Oh my gosh, you're very good point. That would have been a crit from a Galadorn.
Woohoo!
So
My
let me
goodness.
actually undo. And I will take double damage from that. And then, Victoria, if you want to roll me regular damage,
There you
Right.
go.
tiny bit sneaks through. And then you do get the cold. That doesn't stop it from flying. But that gives me
Good
something
luck,
else.
June.
That
Oh,
gives
Christ.
me
Sorry, June.
Blooming Fury.
Aha, I'm in danger.
The Espinas flies into a frenzy for 1 minute. While frenzied, it loses its physical resistance, but gains a +6 status bonus on damage rolls for its melee strikes and becomes quickened. While quickened, it can only use this extra action to fly, stride, or strike. Additionally, during this period, any creatures that take damage from its blossoming blaze are exposed to Thorn's venom. So,
Sounds good to me. Yikes.
yep. I'm going to go ahead and target June here. We're going to add a +2 to whatever I roll for my Horn Strike.
Don't feel like you have to. You can go ahead and add +2. That'll be still a miss. Oh my god! I saw my life flash before my eyes.
This. Oh, look at that. I gotta test out. I gotta test out.
No, that's fine. That's
I
fine.
gotta test out this venom. I gotta
I
test
just
out.
love that it was just like silence, and he's just like,
So, 30 points of piercing damage.
pure fear that came
Oh,
out of
sorry,
nowhere for me.
36 points of piercing damage because I haven't applied the 6 damage from its fury. And then I need you to give me a fortitude save. As this horn
Oh,
pierces
dude.
your flesh, and you succeed. Perfectly fine. You'll live forever. But my turn ends, and I am no longer frightened.
I'll change that, you son of a bitch.
Well, I'm sure Nocturne will do so as well. Speaking of which,
I mean, if want to change that, I'm gonna let you as long as you feel comfortable doing it.
Absolutely.
So, turn.
It is your turn.
Start
Do that.
actually with looking at the two who have been snapped the most.
You're
Percentage-wise, 'cause I
very,
don't see
you're very
Alvarez.
soft. I did not catch any of what you just said.
Okay. What are people looking like percentage-wise, like health-wise?
A little over 50.
Just under 40.
I'm fine for right now.
Then that said just under 40%. Give a good old soothe.
Okay, Sue on Victoria. Alright, so magic flows from Nocturne, where a sweet melody is carried on the wind, assuaging Victoria's wounds and the mental duress that she has taken from just getting beat up by this thing.
And then one action to Courageous Anthem.
Okay, another courageous anthem. And that'll bring us to June.
All right, this is gonna go brazy. First action, warning shot. Oh wait, I did. We don't need to worry about that. Unintelligible. I like that. Bang! Oh my various gods. Okay.
What does warning shot do on a critical failure?
Does demoralize do anything on a critical failure?
No, I don't believe so.
I'm pulling it up right now. Nothing. Except make me feel
I was
good.
hoping it would result in a misfire.
It makes me feel terrible. But that's fine. It's not, but it's fine
It
because
makes you feel demoralized.
yeah, it makes me the player feel like I think it's just my level 11 characters are cursed because I remember Parsley rolled really bad on everything. And then I'm going to use one action to pull a card from my lucky draw bandolier.
This is one of the coolest items like in the game, and there's no build I can use that really makes use of it.
So I'm going to pull number 4, explosive shot.
Yes! Yes!
Explosive
This is unfortunate for me.
Where is it? It's not in the
It might not be
thing.
remastered. Oh, I'm not seeing it in...
Oh, explosive ammunition. Okay. Oh, explosive ammunition. I found it.
There we go.
So we will put that in my inventory. And I will also read what it does. No time. There's no time. I'm going to use that to reload. Boom. And then I'm going to target this big son bitch. Last action. Fire explosive point blank.
Okay. When the active
No!
explosive...
Failure.
Yep. That is a
When it's
crit.
raining like that.
And
I
you
have a
crit
good reflex
because of the clumsy that you inflicted on it.
Yes. So where's my thing? 10-foot burst from the guy.
Yeah, so it's gonna be you and...
Yeah, that's fine. You're fine, Nocturne. I'll just die instead. So let's roll some
I
critical
see.
damage. Oh, that's so many numbers. Ashton doesn't matter. Hey, but that fortitude for being stunned, that matters.
So all the physical will go through. And so I'll have it take another 12 points of damage. And then it has to make a
Wait,
DC...
why does it take an extra 12?
What's that?
Why does it take an extra 12?
Because I haven't taken the physical resistance off of the sheet, but it's blooming
Oh.
fury. So yeah, actually, you know what? I forgot to describe this. As it sort of like gets hit and it goes into this frenzy, you see like fiery, almost molten veins spread across its body, and its hide almost seems to like soften as like they press outward. Its muscles seem to like grow thicker and stuff. But yeah, it is a bit more ferocious, but its skin seems a little less, a little thinner now that it has entered this state.
I also just realized that pulling explosive is the worst one because it's immune to fire damage.
Yeah, so neither of you take any damage.
But can I get that fortitude save against my gun crit specialization?
Yeah. Let's see, there it is. Success.
Okay, so I warning shot, draw, fire. That's all 3.
I'll also do critical success against the Ashen.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Victoria.
All right. We're gonna use this for a setup round. I'm gonna step here,
Okay.
and then I'm going to once again activate my. Gosh, I can never remember the name. The
Gotcha.
Mirror's Reflection.
Ah. Okay.
So I'll have it appear just to the left.
I'm just gonna move your character. Sorry.
Yep, that'll work. And then, just in case it still wants to target, I am going to then intensify vulnerability for that refraction of light for concealment.
Okay. So that would be all 3,
Yes, sir.
which brings us back to a Galadorn.
Okay. We're going to try and do another slam down, I think. It's not frightened right now, right?
It is not frightened. It managed to shake that.
Oh, it's not clumsy anymore either, because regular.
Good
only
point.
lasts for 1
That would have been very bad for me.
Yeah, we'll do a slam down.
Okay. Nothing personal. I hope you miss. But you didn't. And any amount of damage you deal, especially with its resistance gone, will vanquish the Espinas. But I'm going to give it one more round of combat because I want to check something out. So, it hangs on by a thread of life, and it is going to use that opportunity in round 6 with its blossoming blaze recharged to spit it directly in Galadorn's face. Galadorn, sorry, I mixed up the little brief bout of dyslexia. So, it is going to put it. Let's see, right
I failed it just for you.
there. I do appreciate that. Failure from Victoria, and what about Nocturne?
Just for fun, I was gonna joke about using my reaction to move in, but I figured I would do that.
Okay.
So
40 fire to the people that failed, 20 that didn't. And then I need everybody to make that took that damage, make a fortitude save. Okay, good. I'm glad it's failable.
Just making sure you get your chance to try it out.
Yes, thank you. Ooh, wow.
It's failable, all right.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm happy with that now. Everybody takes 2d10 poison damage, and with that, content with that, the Espinas takes its bleed damage and dies.
It's all okay. Good.
But
For the drama, I'm going to also step in here with Mother's Mindfulness on
Oh.
a Galadorn. And I'm going to take his 40 points of damage that he took.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I am still standing
Oh,
at
good.
1 hit point.
Exactly one. Perfect.
Yep.
Well, awesome. All right, so that took us 6 rounds. Baseline, we're going to discuss sort of like just how we feel about the monster. Yeah, what are we thinking? How do we feel about just like sort of the baseline of the creature as I'm making you guys owners so that you can actually look at its stat sheet yourself?
Dragons are cool, man.
They are. They are. Oh, you know what? I should tell you. The Espinas hails from Monster Hunter.
It's funny. Obviously you need to start it off the way you do, but it's been a few months, but the last time I played against an Espinas, it always starts off sleeping, and then you just run up and sleep bomb it, and you set the bombs off, and then it just keeps sleeping. So, like, the idea of us just walking up and be like, huh?
Yeah. So this creature, I kind of had to include the physical resistance because one of the things
Mhm.
about this creature is it will sleep through people attacking it.
Yeah. It is I think you captured that very well, because thinking back to fighting it, its body is hard while it's not enraged. Like, I don't remember the numbers and it doesn't matter, but I do have memories of like my weapons bouncing off of it when they lose like one level of sharpness. So that's pretty good, I think.
But just sort of like I know that like that resistance is tough, but how, like I said, how do people feel just like first impressions off of the combat? What are we thinking? Was it a good combat? Was it too long, too slow?
No, I think it was good. The one thing I was surprised to see, or surprised not to see rather, is that I like Blossoming Blaze as a big explosion, but I was expecting a single ranged, like single targeting, because he does have the single shot fireballs that he shoots out that only like will hit one person rather than like a big explosion.
I could do that, I suppose. I was kind of just like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird to make attacks like that, I guess, to me.
Yeah, especially when he already has 2 attacks at 10 reach, 10 feet, and then another at 20.
Right. Yeah, he's got some fantastic range already. I guess it, and you know what? It's I guess part of my reluctance to do that, making that like a strike, is that then you can just have the Espinas stay flying the entire
Yeah, just
time.
do that forever. Yeah,
True.
that's
Um,
valid.
I did try to make Blossoming Blaze on a very short cooldown. That's why it's got that 1d4.
Hmm.
So it can just like, in theory, use it at least like multiple times in an encounter to sort of like capture that idea. Um, if there's no more mentions on just the general gameplay, on the feelings for that, I'll get into the numbers here real quick. Starting off, it has a terrible perception because, like Dinnerman and I just both mentioned, it will sleep through getting attacked.
You
So
know what I
it's
think would be really funny?
what's that?
If you made its, I don't know how you would write this in, but you treated its degree of success against specifically the spell sleep 1 degree worse.
That would be kind of ironic considering a lot of
It'd
like
be pretty
food
funny.
dragons are immune to sleep.
Yeah. It's like he
Hmm.
succeeds, which means he fails.
Yeah, and most sleep effects have incapacitation.
Oh, true. Yeah. So they would just nullify
They
themselves.
cancel
So
each other out.
yeah, maybe never mind.
Um,
That would be fun though.
it's got 2 skills. It has a low acrobatics, mainly to just help it with flying and stuff. And it has a high athletics for no particular reason, but it's a little bit brawnier than it is agile. So it felt weird to me to have athletics be lower. Defensively, it has a high AC. Ooh, excuse me. It has a high fortitude, a moderate reflex, and then a low will. But its hit points are actually below moderate. They're like 10 below moderate. And obviously the reason for that is fire and poison immunity, as well as physical resistance, but I didn't make it low because it also has that cold weakness. In regards to its offenses, oh, and also the values I used are middling values for its resistances and weaknesses. The minimum for its level is 8, and the maximum is 15 for those. So I just sort of went for the middle ground.
Okay.
Attacks, we are looking at its tails and jaws are its highest attacks. Oh, they only have a moderate bonus to hit. Its horn actually has a low bonus to hit. They are slightly compensated for that with the horn and the jaws dealing high damage, and the tail dealing moderate damage, as well as having those reaches and the tail having sweep. So that's the basics on the numbers. The horn gets the high damage, but has to use that lower bonus, even lower than the jaws, because it can also introduce the Espinas's poison, its venom, its toxin. So, any issues with the numbers?
Not personally, no.
No, I think those are all good.
Okay.
Yeah. In the same boat.
Excellent. Well, then we are going to go ahead and move into discussing abilities. I'm going to start with our passive abilities here. So first things first is Thorns. I kind of forgot about that a couple times. But let's see, damage-wise. So DC, because this triggers off of every attack, it uses a moderate save DC. And the damage is actually one die below unlimited use area damage. Just because any creature can trigger it, and it triggers every single time in melee. So area damage kind of seemed to be like the way to go for it. And I went for that one die lower than regular unlimited use area damage for its level, because it does have that on a critical failure, you are exposed to the Thorn's Venom. Now, I know that this isn't really a facet, this is an aspect of the creature in Monster Hunter, but it felt weird for me to make a creature covered in spines and spikes like this and not take the opportunity to include an ability like it. But how do we feel about it? Any complaints, comments, questions, concerns?
I was gonna say I don't really know the creature from Monster Hunter, so I'm not really one to know on that end. But like a fine ability on my part at least.
Okay. We'll go from there into Thorn's Venom. So now the Espinas is actually a monster that I have not personally faced, but I've done some research into it. I've watched some fights. It seems like a son of a bitch to go up against.
It's not great.
Because in addition to inflicting poison, in addition to inflicting fire, both of which chip away at your health, it also has paralysis in the effects it can inflict. And so I kind of wrap those together into its poison, which starts off with poison damage, but then starts making you slowed until you become paralyzed if you get to stage 4. Once again, this uses a moderate DC, which is what I tend to use for poisons and venoms and stuff. Because having played with them in a couple games, they can be very brutal, can be very cruel to players. Any issues with this one?
The Monster Hunter purist in me is like, it should all happen at the same time. But from a Pathfinder perspective, I think that's very good. That it is a slow burn to the paralysis. Because if it all happens at the same time, it's going to be terrible and no one's going to enjoy it. But I think this is good.
I avoided adding incapacitation because it happens slowly. If it was something that's like it all has to happen at once, I'd think it'd have to have incapacitation at the very least.
And as someone who has fought this, that when that happens, when you get hit and you're low, and you're just on the ground,
Paralyzed.
and you just watch your health bar just slowly go away from everything. You're like, I hate this monster so much.
So much, yeah, I bet. Well,
So yeah, I think this is a good version of that.
So yeah, we did kind of talk about the Blossoming Blaze already. This uses a high DC and deals limited use area damage. Pretty standard sort of effect. It's just a small fireball that it can breathe out. It has
And
Wild Charge,
Sorry.
which is pretty basic. Boars have an ability similar to this. I went with a +2 because it uses that low attack bonus for its horn. It's already got high damage on it, so I didn't want to go the route of like a powerful charge that gives it more damage. Now, something I did think about, something that people brought up in the Discord, is that the Espinas will kind of run through people
Mm-hmm.
And so I might give it a trample as well.
I
Have
think
I-
that'd be good. That would be real. If it tramples with its horn,
Okay, you think it should do the trample with the horn?
that'd be really messed up. I say with a big evil smile on my face. I think that'd be great, and that'd be a really good way to subject people to the venom,
venom.
and then force people to spread out,
Okay.
which would stink because you wouldn't be able to use blossoming blaze. But I think a trample with the horn would be good.
Okay. Then I will add a trample with the horn. And that'll probably use high DC for its level. So the only thing left is the thing that really kind of sets the Espinas apart from any other creature, which is its Blooming Fury. And so this triggers when it's at half health, when it starts its turn at half health, or when it's hit by a crit. So when it started its turn, it was at 113 health. I was like, God damn it. I would have accepted letting the Shattered Defenses hit if he could have dealt enough to get there. So instead, he ended up triggering it on a crit, which is not great for me. But the Espinas didn't really get a chance to make use of this effect. It did get that +6 damage in on Catastrophe June, but it didn't get to use its Quickened.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I went with Quickened here because all the descriptions say that it just becomes much more frenzied and much more ferocious. It loses any of that like drowsiness or sleepiness that it has once it enrages, and just kind of goes like wild on the player. At least according to the sources I've read and that I've looked at. In return, it then loses its physical resistance. So some creatures, when they rage, when they frenzy, they'll lose like some AC, or at least older creatures. I'm not sure if that's going to be a process going forward, considering rage no longer does that. But for the Espinas, its rage in Monster Hunter is described as it's sort of like, it is described as making it less tanky, less durable.
It softens it up, and there's other monsters that do that as well. When they're enraged, you're not bouncing off of them all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like Quickened can, like, again, I've not fought the Espinas and like encountered this thing myself, but I think anytime I've encountered something, because like the rage mechanic, quote unquote, for a monster isn't exactly unheard of, if you will. I think
Mhm.
it's the best way I'm gonna word that. I mean, them going hog wild probably is pretty accurate to being quickened. It's just the equivalent of them acting more, which is perfect.
Okay.
Additionally, any creature. Oh, okay, that's where it is. I was gonna ask, like, is Blossoming Blaze not do thorns? But it's written right there.
Yep. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should include this in Blossoming Blaze or Blooming Fury. It made more sense to me putting it in Blooming Fury. Yeah.
That's so funny. The first turn, didn't he have like a -5 to his AC? If I would have crit, he would have been frenzied the entire.
I know. It would have been
But-
awesome.
And so here's the thing that I think, and the reason that it didn't last very long, it loses all of its physical resistance. If anything, I think it should be like cut by half. That way, it'll be around longer, especially if it's at like half of its hit points.
That's a fair point. I guess the other thing I was thinking, and I was considering bringing it up, was give it to temp HP when it enters into its Blooming Fury.
Yeah, maybe like 25.
Yeah, 20,
Would it
30,
still lose
something
its
like that.
Would it still lose its
say,
resistance?
Would
I-
still lose
HP?
its. So yeah, I think it would have to be either or. So either go with the idea that like cut its resistance in half, or go with the loses its resistance but gets like 30 temp HP.
I think I prefer the temp HP because that kind of goes with the idea of it, like being so enraged, its body softens up and it loses it. But it's again so enraged that it's like bolstering itself with this temporary hit points. I like that.
Okay.
I can agree with the temp HP as well.
Okay.
I also think that's a good idea.
It gains 30 temporary hit points, a +6 status bonus on damage rolls for its melee strikes, and becomes quickened.
Oh god! Imagine the first hit is a crit and then immediately gets 30 temporary hit points back.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, but at least then from there on, like the amount of
It's
damage
a
you guys
soft
would have
target.
otherwise done
That's
over
true.
time Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I'm
that's
also
that's
that's
fair.
why I'm
It,
also for the temp HP because imagine
Mhm.
it getting the crit on it first round, and then all your effects like that you were wanting from like the bleeding and other stuff like that still
Yeah.
basically getting negated half the
Still
time.
doing nothing. Yeah,
Oof.
yeah. Even at
And
max,
then it's
my
also
bleed would
beating
do
the
nothing.
frick out of you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's much better. Temp HP is the way to go, I think.
Okay. Well, so unrelated to like how this thing uh is a transfer for Monster Hunter, just in general, what do you guys think about the Espinas? Shy,
Man, we
DKF.
chose the wrong runes.
Yeah.
What we didn't
I
do was
try.
convince Nocturne to have Blistering Invective as an occult caster to join us with fire damage.
Yeah. Be useless like us.
clearly, normally you guys actually have like a band of 4 that you run with, and you're all like the fire brigade. And for whatever reason, your 4th wasn't available, and you brought in this weird
Mhm.
who's doing like sonic damage and other like you don't see his face.
The 4th was Nikai.
Even as I was picking my runes, I was like, man, cold damage is lame. I'm gonna go fire. That's cool.
No. Wait. What level? Oh, I didn't even realize cold was an option.
Yeah, it's the same as a flaming rune, which is a level
It's
8
all
item.
level 8.
Yeah.
All level 8.
8. That's why I was looking at the free stuff because I already picked a level 8. What did I pick? The resilient rune. Yeah. I was like, all right, we're not going for that.
But okay.
It was a cool monster.
Okay. I'm good. I'm good. That is.
It's very anti-fighter, barbarian, champion, anything that wants to go up and punch it. Like, oh man, if you were a monk.
Oh,
Very just anti melee a little bit. Yeah.
But that's good. I think that makes it a little bit more interesting.
I have another idea. You mentioned giving it reactive strike. What if it only has reactive strike while it's blooming fury?
Hmm.
I don't think it needs a reactive strike
I
with
was
its
gonna say
thorns.
it's. I'm
Yeah,
not sure it needs a reaction when it has thorns.
that's fair. That's fair. That'd be even worse.
Yeah. That seems unnecessarily cruel to me.
Like those thorns, that stacks up. That hurts.
Yep.
Especially if you once it enrages.
Well, the damage wouldn't apply to the thorns because it does say it only applies to its melee strikes.
Yes, but
Mhm.
then it gets the poison.
Right.
I think this. I really like that. That triple tail sweep, especially at 20 feet. Yeah, you can just hit everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
It's a very classic Monster Hunter move, but it's just done by making 3 strikes. You don't have to make a special ability for it or anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think if we're good here, I've made the changes on the character sheet. We didn't adjust any numbers. We just added temporary hit points to Blooming Fury and added a trample ability. Anything you guys want to add or ask about before we close it out for the night?
How long until flaming Espinas?
I hesitate to do the variants of creatures,
Yeah,
unless
they're
like
very.
I'm really running dry on ideas.
Yeah, it's like literally the same thing except it has like a couple new moves. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, that was mostly a joke.
But
How
yeah,
long
no, I
until
don't know.
brown?
Maybe someday when I'm getting real desperate.
That is a
Um,
thing, right? Brown Espinas. Yeah, it is.
but yeah, I think that covers us for this evening. So thank you to everybody that came out. We had a big gathering tonight. It had some. So we had 12 or 19 people, varying points during the night, which is awesome. I'm gonna try to send you guys off on a raid if I can do this properly. I'm not good at it. I think I've failed every single time I've done it. Let's see. But for everybody else on YouTube, thank you for taking the time to watch this. And as always, stay safe be good. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.